don't hit the deer. Alright, this job is a bunch of pine trees. We're following them, cutting the brush off, chipping the brush, no fine cleanup, leaving the logs. We got the new mini skid. We got Zoppo running it, and we're in fire season. We're trying to get done by 1 o'clock. So I'm just going to show some fallen trees. Hope you enjoy it. about halfway done with the project. We were having some chipper issues. I think we got it figured out now. I ordered an alternator for that chipper. It needs an alternator, but I bought cables and a jumper box with me today to just kind of limp it along, and it's been a pain in the butt. But I think we got it figured out now. So we're on to the second phase. We got the 4 trees in this area. Now we're heading over there for another 4 or 5. One big one and a few small ones. So this next one will be pretty big. I think there's just enough space for it. It's pretty brushy. And we're on a time crunch because it's fire season and we got to shut down at 1 o'clock, and it's 10:30ish right now. So I'm gonna get back at it. one's kind of interesting. It's like a 16-inch, 14-inch pine, but there's a little 6-inch fir right next to it that's kind of engulfing the pine. And we're just cutting the pine. It's like all kind of limb locked, but the limbs aren't that big. I'm gonna cut up the pine and try to start banging it over, and hopefully it'll pull out of there. Worst case scenario, we gotta throw a rope in it. thing's completely cut up on both sides. I'm just gonna start slamming on that wedge and see what happens. Maybe I'll get the camera back here facing up so you can see it come out of there. if it comes out of there. Man, I hope you guys seen that. That was awesome. I thought that little fir tree was gonna break, but we saved her out. I'm gonna cut this stump low and let this fir tree be. This guy wanted a bunch of trees cut, and then I was here last night dropping off the Mini, and the wife said no firs, no cedars, just pines only. And we actually reduced the job a lot from what we originally were going to do. But so it was really important to save that one. Let's see if we can beat over this back leaner. It's a small tree. We got 3 more trees. We're not going to make it in time, but we're going to flop this one, maybe cut it up, and then in the morning there'll be something to chip as I'm cutting the last 2 down. And it's super hot. Might not be able to tell from here, but this thing back leans towards the neighbors, and we're gonna flop it out here in the opening. Probably a back cut first type thing. Don't.
You want to worry about cutting this up tomorrow?
Huh?
You want to worry about this tomorrow?
Probably, yeah.
And
Well, guys, Adam pussied out, so yeah, he said he was sweating too hard. So we're coming back tomorrow morning.
Take it cold.
We're back for day 2. Should be pretty quick. Haven't decided if I'm going to set ropes in these last 2 or just try to feed them over. But I'm about to figure it out.
About banging it over?
When I put the face in it, it'll cripple it a little bit where I could probably pound that wedge in farther.
Okay.
It worked.
Did someone just hoot?
Yeah. Ow!
Poor.
Yeah, back cut first for the win.
Yeah, I've never seen it done like that. But it makes sense.
Because on small trees, like if I was to face it, and it's back leaning, if I was to face it and then start my back cut, it would sit right away.
Gotcha.
And I wouldn't have room to get a wedge in there.
I see.
Know?
Yeah.
So you make the back cut first, you set a wedge in there as much as you can, and it'll start lifting.
I've seen it a little, yeah.
But there's so much wood on the front that's not cut up yet.
It's
so then you make a face. Then that cripples it a little more.
Right.
And then you just drive it home. And
yeah, when I seen you do it over there, I was like, is he gonna face that up?
Yeah. Otherwise.
But no, that makes sense.
Even if I face it first and then back cut it all the way in here and it didn't sit too hard, my bar would be right here.
Right.
And I'd only be able to get a wedge in there, and then he'd probably get it stuck.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then you're in a situation.
Yeah.
It's either that or drive the wedge in sideways.
I see.
And try to miss it, but
yeah,
pine you can really get away with stuff like that.
Oh, I wanted to tell YouTube something.
Okay.
So if you guys have Jeff work on your property, he likes to stash his stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I was leaving that for today in case I needed some water. You know how you got overheated yesterday? And it's kind of nice to have random cups of ice laying around, you know? This one, the trunk wood, it looks like it's leaning that way, but it hooks really hard. And all the limb weight is back that way. So it looks like an easy fall, but we're gonna go the same approach. Back cut first, try to get it to lift. And if it just doesn't work, we'll throw a rope in it. Tim would want me to throw a rope in it. it's gonna work. It just sat back hella hard. Maybe. I don't think so. Nope. And that's that. Thanks for watching.